We have a quorum established. We'll begin with public hearing on Representative Sanders' House Bill 265. Representative, please come forward, and you can proceed when you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representatives, there's a full room. I'm sure they're here to help testify on my daylight saving time bill. I've been getting emails about this. Anyways, I'm Representative Chris Sander from District 33. I represent Missourians in Jackson County. I'm here to present legislation to establish the daylight saving as new standard time pact. So that is something that 19 other states have done. This is similar.
Hey, you're going to have to be quiet if you're in the audience because you can't hear the bill sponsor talking. And so it's okay if you whisper to yourselves, but if I can't hear the bill sponsor talking, that's not okay, so you have to kind of keep it down. Thank you very much. Go ahead and proceed, Representative.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This legislation creates the daylight saving as new standard time pact. It's similar to House Bill 1761 last year and then House Bill 848 2 years ago, which was third read and passed by the House 126-16. And that was on today's date, so it died in the Senate in the last month. But it had never been out of the House to the Senate, and that was the first time that it went from either chamber. But it has been introduced since 2012, every year except 2014. It was also let's see what you call it. The Sunshine Protection Act was in U.S. Congress, introduced unanimous consent, 100-0 in U.S. Congress by the senator last year. And it was introduced again this year by Senators Rubio, Langford, Padilla, Tuberville, Markey, Hagerty, Smith, Scott, Florida, Hayden Smith, Paul, and Wyden. And that would make daylight saving time permanent in the U.S. Only Arizona and Hawaii have a permanent time all year, permanent standard time, which is opposite of what we're on right now. That'd be like what we have during the winter. 19 other states have passed this pact language, the daylight saving as new standard time pact. And more recently, I was researching this as a freshman legislator 3 years ago because it was introduced by some term-limited House members. So it had been, 14 years now. And I thought I'd do that as a freshman. But this does not mandate school starting times or bus route schedules. Some of the opposition says children would stand at the bus stops in the dark, but it doesn't mandate what time schools need to start or buses need to run. It would actually be an opportunity for school boards to allow children a healthy sleeping schedule with an hour extra sleep in the morning before school. 60% of Americans want permanent daylight saving time. In recent polls, eliminating this would reduce crime because there's more daylight in the evening when crime happens. There's more crime when it's dark. It would reduce heart attacks, stress, animal confusion, fatal car accidents that happen during dusk or dawn like that, and unnecessary depression or social jet lag is the term whenever there's no daylight in the evening hours when people like to play golf or go boating or do things outdoor. It doesn't create any more time in the day. It just keeps us on the timer on now. And if anybody wants to testify in the room here, this has got a full room, so I'll leave some time for that. Thank you.
Are there any questions for the bill sponsor for the members of the committee? I see none. The main concern I have with your bill is that the clock on my car would be wrong the entire year instead of half the year. I've been sitting on the joke for several days.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony, Representative.
There is another bill, House Bill 157, and that's through rules for consideration. It would make a permanent standard time in Missouri. So if this committee chooses to, we could make an amendment and see which one's best. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. Is there anyone to testify in favor of House Bill 265? Seeing none, anyone here to testify in opposition to House Bill 265? Seeing no one, anyone here to testify for informational purposes only on House Bill 265? I see no one. That will conclude the public hearing on House Bill 265.